Welcome to Search and Survival, where we search for those who've gone missing so you can learn how to survive. I'm Nakia. Hey, I know it's been a while since I posted here on YouTube, but I said I'd come back someday, and here I am. So today, as usual, we're going through a countdown of the top survival and recovery stories from August 2025. Number 8. In the Catskill Mountains of New York, 4 hikers were rescued in late August 2025 after a harrowing experience. While hiking near Giant Ledge, the group became lost and disoriented, mainly because they had taken a bunch of hallucinogenic mushrooms. On August 29, they sent a distress signal via satellite to the Ray Brook Dispatch, indicating that one member was struggling with a severe psychedelic experience. Rescue teams, including forest rangers and the Pine Hill Fire Department, quickly mobilized and located the hikers by 6:45 p.m. They guided the group back to safety, but not before discovering that they had also lost their car keys. The rangers provided transportation back to their rental lodging, ensuring their safe return. Then the next day, one of the rangers returned to the area and found the lost keys under a log. Number 7. In the Boundary Waters Canoe Area Wilderness, 2 women rented a canoe from Rockwood Lodge and Canoe Outfitters and hired a pilot to drop them off on Kiskadena Lake for a multi-day canoe and portage. Almost immediately, one of the women suffered a disabling hernia, and the 2 were forced to use a Garmin InReach satellite emergency beacon to summon help. The injured woman was airlifted out of the area, while the other remaining woman stayed with her gear and rental canoe, intending to continue the trip. Using her satellite beacon, she coordinated with Carl Madsen, a co-owner of Rockwood Lodge, for assistance. Madsen set out the next day on a 28-mile round-trip canoe and portage to rendezvous with the remaining adventurer. They worked together to complete the trip by paddling one canoe while towing the other. Madsen portaged the 2 canoes between lakes, while the adventurers carried the 2 large backpacks she and her friend had originally started out with. The remainder of the trip was completed without incident. And folks, this is one of the reasons why I love doing this channel. Check out the area they were in, the vastness of the wilderness area. The number of lakes here is astounding. It's easy to get caught up in our day-to-day lives of work, family, politics, etc., and forget the amazing natural wonders this planet has to offer. If you want to find out more about this incident, check out the Paddle and Portage channel here on YouTube, where I came across this story. I'll leave a link in the description below. Number 6. In Wyoming's Cloud Peak Wilderness, 38-year-old Grant Gardner, an experienced mountain climber from Minnesota, embarked on a 3-day solo trek and was last heard from on the evening of July 29, when he informed his wife that he had reached the summit of Cloud Peak at an elevation of over just 13,000 feet. He also texted her that the climb had been much more difficult than he had expected. After he failed to return as scheduled, a massive search and rescue operation was initiated, involving helicopters, ground teams, and canine units, but was suspended after 20 days due to dwindling survival odds. On the evening of August 26, a professional climbing team from North Carolina spotted what appeared to be a backpack while descending the mountain. Upon reaching the site the following day, searchers discovered Gardner's remains near the backpack, in rugged, difficult-to-reach terrain. Part of the reason it took so long to find Barber was the color of his clothes and gear closely matched the terrain. The circumstances surrounding Gardner's death are now under investigation. Number 5. Near Macleys Lake in British Columbia's Caribou region, 39-year-old Andrew Barber was last seen on July 28, 2025, when his vehicle broke down on a remote Forest Service road. Stranded in an area with no cellular service, Barber made the mistake of deciding to venture cross-country into the wilderness in search of help and became disoriented. After failing to return, a search operation was launched, which involved helicopters and ground teams scouring the vast area. And they found Barber. Barber had actually survived. He had survived by drinking unclean pond water and foraging for whatever food he could find. He constructed a makeshift shelter out of mud and wood. He carved help into a nearby rock to signal for assistance. After surviving 9 days in the wilderness alone, a helicopter finally spotted his SOS message, leading rescuers to his location on August 9. As a reminder, search and rescue teams always have an easier time finding you if you remain with your vehicle or on established roads. Cross-country shortcuts rarely result in favorable outcomes. Number 4. In the mountains above Fresno, California, 28-year-old Tiffany Slayton went missing near Shaver and Huntington Lakes. She had embarked on a solo camping trip. but when her family lost contact with her, they reported her missing on April 29. A massive search operation ensued, covering nearly 600 miles of treacherous terrain. Days passed without any signs of her. 3 weeks later, just as authorities were preparing to scale back their efforts, Slayton was discovered in an unlocked cabin at the Vermilion Valley Resort by Addison Lake, where the owner had left the door open to one of the cabins as a precaution for lost hikers. This was 45 miles from where she was last seen. Slayton's details of her harrowing adventure gained national media attention. She recalled struggling with an injured knee, getting lost in a blizzard, swept away in an avalanche, falling off a cliff, and surviving harsh conditions by foraging for leeks. The owner of the resort, Christopher Gutierrez, described the surreal moment of finding Slayton, who immediately ran to him for a hug, overwhelmed with relief. One contributor to the online forum Reddit claimed that they met Slayton while camping before she went missing and had several conversations with her over several days where details of her adventure didn't add up. A key point was that she was on a bicycle trip, yet her bicycle was nowhere to be seen, and she didn't seem to know where her bicycle was. Then in August, Sheriff John Zanoni, who led the SAR operation, sat down to do an interview on a podcast called Talk of the Hill. On the podcast, he stated that he now believes Slayton made up the whole story. I'll leave links to that podcast in the description below. Hey, if you like this content and want to see more, hit the like and subscribe button and share this video. And thank you to the nearly 8,500 people who've already subscribed. Our next goal is to reach 10,000 subscribers. Number 3. In the Edge of the World wilderness area near Sedona, Arizona, a dramatic search unfolded for 32-year-old Janelle Banda after she went missing during a camping trip with her family on June 13, 2025. Banda was last seen around 10:30 p.m. when she walked away from her campsite to explore a little. Her father, David Banda, raised alarms when she failed to return, prompting an immediate search by the Coconino County Sheriff's Office. The search teams faced challenging terrain, including steep drop-offs and narrow canyons, as they scoured the area for signs of Banda. Despite efforts, she was not located until several days later, when a rescue team found her dehydrated but alive at the bottom of a canyon. It turns out that while Banda was exploring, she became spooked by something and lost her way in the woods. In her attempt to navigate the area, she accidentally fell approximately 400 feet into a side canyon, leaving her stranded and unable to return to her campsite. Banda suffered from dehydration and minor injuries, including sprained ankles and cuts. Number 2. On August 26 in Kenai, Alaska, 36-year-old Arian Fabrizio Colton was attacked by a brown bear while jogging near her home. The incident occurred around 5:45 a.m., shortly after she left her home. As she approached her driveway, the bear ambushed her, dragging her approximately 100 yards down the road. A neighbor, alerted by the unusual sounds, discovered her in a severely injured state and immediately called for help. Colton was found conscious but bleeding heavily from her face and scalp. She was airlifted to a hospital in Anchorage where she underwent surgery for her serious injuries. Despite her critical condition, she was reported to be recovering. Wildlife officials believe the bear has not yet been located, prompting ongoing patrols in the area. Number 1. Alec Loon, a 38-year-old climate journalist, was hiking solo in one of Norway's national parks on July 31, 2025, when the sole of his boot began to separate, eventually causing him to slip and tumble down a mountainside. He suffered severe injuries, including a broken femur, fractured pelvis, and multiple vertebrae injuries, leaving him stranded without a phone or water. For 6 days, he survived in the wilderness by drinking his own urine, eating grass and moss, and even popping blisters to drink his own blood. He described the moment of his fall as the start of a disaster movie, realizing the gravity of his situation as he lay immobilized. His wife, Victoria Silchenko, reported him missing on August 4, prompting a massive search operation, which was hampered by bad weather. Lund was eventually rescued on the third day, August 6, after search teams spotted his bright red coat. Lund said he was grateful that he'd survived and grateful for his rescuers. That wraps it up for the top survival stories from August 2028 here on Search and Survival. Until next time, get out there, be safe, and enjoy the wild.